Mondo, Mr. Justin Ishmael.
How's it going?
Anywhere you want, sir. You got plenty of chairs.
Thank you.
So, both of you guys kind of have done a lot of Halloween stuff this year. I know you guys just finally got like the license, right?
Yeah, finally.
Talk about that. I mean, obviously it's been a long struggle. You weren't just like, oh shit, we forgot Halloween. Like you guys are trying.
Well, that's the thing. Like people, probably the single most question we get is like, when are you doing Halloween shirts? And they're like, when we can. For Halloween, for me, it was an incredible personal journey because it's the movie that I mean, I'm sure like you guys, this is the first movie I ever saw, and horror movie got me into this. And I've been talking to Malik probably since 2004 about licensing, and it just, for one reason or another, every year something would come up. We would try to get it, and it would fall through. And back then, honestly, we couldn't have done it because we were just, I mean, I was still working out in my apartment, you know what I mean? But I was like, I want Halloween. And then just last year, we were able to finally get a foot in the door, and then it kind of slammed in our face, and then Malik said, no, hold on, just wait. And then a few months later, it was like 0 to 60 in like a day, and we got the license, signed everything, and I went, oh shit, what are we gonna do now? Like we gotta put something out in like 6 months, or not even 6 months, and get it together. So it was just a dream come true and a complete whirlwind when it did happen, but it took 9 years to get there.
Now, but Justin, for you guys at Mondo, you don't have to deal with the licensing so much, do you? Or how's that work?
Oh yeah, we do licensing, all the time. I wish we didn't have to mess with it.
Oh, okay.
It'd be amazing.
All right. I thought it was because it was under the guise of fan.
Oh no,
so.
no, we're fans,
Oh, okay.
so we have to pay.
Oh, okay. So was it the similar deal? We guys kind of had to, because you did the one for the one Halloween for the screening that was at the Alamo like years ago, like 5 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I think that was the only one right prior to about a year ago, right?
Yeah, we only did. I think up to this point, it had only been like 3.
Oh, okay.
Probably maybe like 2 or 3, and then like last year was the Ken Taylor one. It was like, all right, well, done.
Yeah.
We don't need to do anything else because we have the Ken Taylor one. And then we, we started doing the record stuff, and it was like, oh, well, this is a different medium. Like it's not a poster. We can do stuff with the labels, with the the spindle goes through the eye, and kind of like call back to some stuff that happened in the movie because we've all seen it.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to. We all get it. Like we can really play with the stuff, and for like super fans. I mean, I consider myself like way mid-tier, like lower as far as like knowledge. Like I'm not here and I'm like blown away because they're coming up to characters like, oh man, that was amazing, and like I don't remember this at all. It's amazing like how like the people bringing the posters with like getting them signed by like every character. It's like I love it. So it's cool that we get to do that and then come here and see how excited everybody is for it. And then with like the posters, it was, we did the house ones, the house set, a couple weeks ago. And then with the Jock one, we were kind of like, oh, cool. Like Jock really did a cool poster, but we had no idea it was going to be like, yesterday everyone was going nuts and freaking out about it. So, yeah, it was cool.
Now, the Ken Taylor one you mentioned, that was the one for the New Beverly screening, right?
That was the Deborah Hill thing we did. I think it was last October or November or something.
Did anyone lucky enough to get that? All right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, but we did that one, and then that's how we actually met Trankus and the Halloween crew, and started talking to them, and then I'm hoping that we can do more stuff now. Like we've done a record, and we've done a poster. What can we do that's not those things?
Don't do shirts.
No, yeah. I'll do like nice button-up shirts. So I'll make it like Halloween suit.
Little knife buttons.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, I like that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a question for both of you then, since you both had to deal with the licensing thing. Do you guys sort of had dream like designs that you kind of sketch out or have your artist sketch out beforehand, just like, okay, that way if we do get the license, boom, we can just get a move on? Or is it kind of like, why bother? Why get our hopes up?
We didn't do anything beforehand because I mean it's at that point, if you don't know you're going to get a license, we weren't going to do anything kind of on spec and sort of like invest money and time in an artist to do something, because it's like you either get it or you don't. And part of getting that, I think, also is the licensor, in this case, Trancas, knowing who you are and what you can do, and seeing samples of your past work and saying, okay, you can provide a certain voice for this property. And so for us, it was, and I don't know about you guys, but like, I always had people in mind for what I wanted to work with to do this. So as soon as we got the green light, it was like, and you kind of talk to people in advance, like, hey, this is probably going to happen, so clear your schedule if you can, and we want to use you, type of thing. And then you sort of get that okay, and it's like, all right, go for it. And then that's when the sketching process starts and all that.
Same for you guys.
So yeah, we got it, and we used Phantom City Creative, and they have this way of working, and this is like with everything. They'll do like 12 or 15 thumbnails. Like when they did Godzilla for us, when they did Cabin in the Woods, like any of those, like The Burning, like those posters, there's 12 versions of those posters that exist because they're full. They're not like final posters, but they're like, he does 12 different poster ideas, and so we get to look at the 12. So that's why like a lot of times like we do like Lost Boys, and there was 2 completely different posters. It's because sometimes he'll send in and the 2 are so good that we're like, oh, you have to do both. We'll make one a variant even though it's like a completely different thing, just so we can do both. So when we got the Halloween stuff in, there were pieces of one that were like, oh cool, maybe we can use this, and yeah, so like Rob Jones worked with them on that and put it together, and it was a pretty quick turnaround because we wanted to make it for Halloween, and then we went and met with the Halloween guys. They were like, oh, we're doing this convention, and then that's when we had the idea of like, oh, we need to do the second record. It was gonna be kind of like a like record store day type of thing, or like a Black Friday type of thing. Like we would release that here, like here at the convention first, and then if there's any left, we'd let people like online, because we have worldwide rights to it. So people in Japan may want it too. So that'd be cool if they got a shot at it.
And the nice thing about what you guys do, shirts, posters, vinyl, it's not region locked. So we're not like, it's because like especially for here, like the European guys are always doing these like great Blu-ray releases, and it's just like, well, the American version sucks, but you guys don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah, I saw that dude in there with all the German stuff. It's amazing. And it's like, man, I wish they would do Blu-ray versions of those. And I guess they are. They're doing like the Steelbook stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's just backtrack a bit. Let's just talk about your origin. I mean, you mentioned when you guys started, you were working on your apartment, but just just kind of give like a brief overview of what started these 2 labels now that they're sort of like both household names among horror fans.
I just started because I needed a way to just let off some creative steam. Like I was working as an in-house graphic designer and just been a horror fan, again since I was real little, and I just wanted something to do in the community. I felt like I wanted to, I don't know, do something interesting, and I was, while I should have been working, I was just coming up with some kooky designs and stuff, and I was kind of like, man, that would look kind of cool on a shirt, and all my friends were making like really cool masks, and like, that was big when hockey masks like on the collector's market was really big. So like everyone was doing like screen accurate hockey masks and Michael Myers masks and stuff. I'm like, man, what if I could do this on a shirt? And I put those things up on my friend's forum, and people were just like, I'd buy that. Really? Okay. So I plunked like $600 down on my credit card. My wife was like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't even know. I don't even know how I'm gonna pay this back." And over the weekend, it was Labor Day 2003. I came up with a name, a really quick logo, website. I'd never even used PayPal before. I figured that out, and by Tuesday, I was like, "Okay, this is where you can go to buy the stuff." And all of a sudden, I started like people actually sent me money, and I was like, "What?" And then like it just sort of snowballed from there. It was one of those things where it was just a fun hobby, and then at that time I was getting married, so it was like, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. And then an order would come in, I'm like, that's pretty cool, and then I would just keep going with it. And then after a while, like it got bigger, and I said, I really want to do this full time if I can, and I just kept pushing. And then we got into Hot Topic a few years later with a couple of shirts, and that helped things, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And then I was able to quit my job in 2008, and since then I've been doing full time with staff and office and that type of thing.
You guys are in all kinds of stuff. Were you on 30 Rock, right?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
in the What Would Jason Do shirt, and then you were in This Is the End, right? Zombie
What Would
shirt.
Jason Do shirt, Jay
Yeah.
Freelander wore it, and then Jay Baruchel wore the Zombie vs. Shark, and This Is the End.
You have celebrity shirts.
Yeah.
Like certified.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, like seeing that stuff on the screen, like,
Friday Riggs prime time. It's
Yeah.
great. And then Mondo, we started, we're from Austin, and the Alamo Draft House, like Tim Lee, like he started Mondo, man, a decade ago or something. You know, it was basically like if you've ever been to our site, it's mondotees.com, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because we do like, you know, a fraction of the, you know, like the ratio is way off. It should be like mondoposters.com or whatever. But he started this business with iron-on t-shirts. Like he had vintage iron-ons and he needed a way to get rid of them. So he's like, Mondo Tees, perfect. And then so they did that for a while. And we have another thing called the Rolling Road Show. And so they will travel the country and show movies in places where they were filmed. Like for instance, we should actually do one here. That would have been amazing, yeah. But we did like, you know, we'll do Goldfinger at Fort Knox, and we'll do Jaws at Martha's Vineyard, or etc. So that was kind of an idea. Like Rob Jones had, like, oh well, you know, we can take the bands go on tour. Like you're in a certain town, you know, Atlanta will have a poster, and LA will have a different one, and Chicago will have a different one. So he's like, we could do the Jaws poster and sell it at Martha's Vineyard, and then we go to do Raising Arizona. We can do a Raising Arizona specific poster. And so it just kind of spawned out of that. And with the Alamo, you know, doing, and it's like the Alamo shows more than, you know, like Gravity or like in new movies. They have repertory screenings, so they have things called Terror Tuesday, Weird Wednesday, where they'll show, you know, on 35mm prints of, you know, Chopping Mall or Reanimator or you know, whatever. And a lot of it's like way like underneath that, like, you know, Invasion of the Blood Farmers, something like that. You know, they'll be showing movies like that. So it's like, who wants a poster of the car or the gate? You know, and it's like, we'll make 100 of those and we'll have these for 10 years because no one wants this. And then it started working. People started buying. It was like, wow, this is crazy. And so then when I came on in 2010, you know, it was to make it, you know, the goal was to like do more shirts and but not do like the iron-ons, make them like, you know, they're designs by like our artists, and do, you know, licensed posters. And that's how we kind of hit, we got like the Star Wars license in 2010. And that was kind of the thing that got us a lot of attention, probably the most attention up to that point. And then from there, it was really easy to go after licenses because like Disney and Star Wars were the big ones, and now it's one thing. You know, Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars is like the one thing. So if you had those, everyone else was kind of like, oh, cool, like you can handle it. So we were able to go into different studios and kind of say, hey, we've done this before. We have this Star Wars stuff. And we're like, wow, cool. So that's kind of how we got started. And yeah, it's crazy to think that you know, it all started from that like little tiny shop, and then it's like we're talking about this boring audience of people. Sorry.
You mentioned the burning poster. I mean, I don't even like the burning that much, but that poster is like, I was drooling looking at that. I wanted that one so bad. Which,
yeah.
You know, let's start talking about that a bit. Who here has been denied a Mondo poster at checkout? Obviously, the reason that they sell out is A, because they're great, and B, because, you know, there's this sort of collectible thing you don't do. You know, they're limited to 350, 475, something like that. But I do remember that, I think it was the last Comic-Con for Dark Knight 2, or Dark Knight Rises? You guys were like, all right, was it the whole duration of Comic-Con, or was it like one day at Comic-Con? But it was basically like, as many orders as we get, we'll do.
We did that, so we had an event, like a release with the artist at Comic-Con 2 years ago, and then after, like we did this year too, but we'll have like a 24-hour, 48, or you know, a set period of time, and then the edition will be based on how many people buy it in that allotted window. And then so like we did it with Dark Knight with Ollie Moss, and then this year we did it with Man of Steel with Martin Anson. And so that's kind of like we try to do it like once a year, and it's like after the Comic-Con is, you know, we release stuff at Comic-Con. We usually try to do like, you know, surprise stuff and try to bigger things. And so we just try to do that after, and it's kind of like a, you know, a hat tip to like everybody else that couldn't get that stuff. You know, that it's something we try to do to be, you know, nice about it. Yeah.
So can you do that for Halloween?
Can we do it for Halloween? Possibly. You know, we have to talk to the dudes and see if we can do it. But yeah. A lot of our licenses are for, you know, like they're like limited because there are licensors that do, you know, like you can buy, you know, the Halloween like one sheets and stuff like that. They're like mass market licensors for posters. And when we started doing licensing, we would go to people and they would just say flat out no, because at that point no one was doing this. It was one poster license, that's it. And so we had to start, you know, being creative and saying like, well, we're only selling it direct on our site, and we are, you know, screen printing it, so it's different from, you know, like a mass, you know, that's like a theatrical one-sheet style, like the Thin, and we have this, and they're numbered and signed, so we were able to make it different enough in the eyes, like the legal eyes or whatever, to make it so we could just keep doing these things. And so like some companies have been doing, like Acme Archives, they had been doing it with Fox for a long time, and they do like G-plays and stuff, and so we had to kind of, you know, say like G-plays are different from this even, and so we, you know, we got the studios on board, and most of them are like super cool with us now, and they like what we do, so yeah.
That's exactly what we run into with the shirts.
Yeah, so say you guys started to do like some sort of limit, like
Yeah,
the Halloween when you're wearing it, was that the limited one or was it the other?
Yeah, this was the box set one.
Yeah.
It was well, it's same thing in what you just said. Like, you know, everybody does shirts. I mean, you can go into Walmart and buy a shirt. You can go into Hot Topic. I mean, so you've got a few different big licensors that take these licenses and can just do worldwide wholesale. So when we knock on someone's door and say we want to do Halloween, they're like, there's already someone doing Halloween shirts, see you later, you know, or whatever. And we say, yeah, but we're kind of our own thing. We're not selling to Hot Topic, and we don't do that anymore. We don't sell wholesale anymore. We do direct through our website. And that was sort of a kind of foot in those doors, and we're like, oh, so you only sell your own thing. So now, like, a lot of our licenses are very limited, and, you know, you can only do it through your website, but luckily, you know, we, just like you guys, you know, you have the fan base to support it, which is nice. And to be honest, I never, you know, we were, like I said before, we were in Hot Topic a couple times, and that was fun and everything, but I've always preferred the direct-to-customer relationship, because we get, you know, people, like I'm seeing people like Jamie over there and other people that, you know, are, order from us all the time, and to meet these people face to face and to have that relationship and to connect and be like, hey, like, we love the same stuff, like, we could sit here for hours talking about this, and that's what I want more than anything. I don't want to sell 1 million t-shirts, I want to sell 1,000 t-shirts to the right people, you know? But that factors into pricing and all that stuff, because then you still have to support your business.
Now, what was the genesis of doing these new sort of box sets that you guys been doing? Like did you ever get the Halloween, the Fright Rags box set thing with like the magnet and stuff? Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it's part of the limited license. So when we want to get a license, and I'm sure it's the same with you guys, we're still paying the same amount as those big guys that are selling thousands and thousands of t-shirts. So for those guys, it's high volume, low margin. So they're selling, you know, they're going to go into Hot Topic, and the Hot Topic's going to order 7,000 of those shirts, and that's one store, and then you've got multiple stores like that. We're the one store. We have to make that money up from us, not from all these other things. So unfortunately, you know, we have a great audience, but at the same time, are we going to sell that many t-shirts, like just one shirt to make up that? Probably not at the price points, unless we wanted to charge a ridiculous amount of money for one shirt. So part of the box set is to make up, okay, well, I mean, to be fair, you have to make that money back, you know? But the other part is that it's really exciting stuff, and it pushes us creatively. So we didn't get into the box sets because of that, because we were just doing it for fun, but it kind of worked into, when we started getting licensing, it was like, well, what can we do to really make something cool? Because I also don't want to put out something that costs $80 and have it be a piece of crap, you know? I mean, we want to do something really awesome that people are like, holy shit, I need that now, you know? And like when we come up with the ideas, sometimes we're like, oh, I want that now, you know? And then that really has a light off to go in our heads that we want to do it. So, I mean, it's certainly passion driven, but as a business, you have to think about, I mean, I can't, you know, you have to make money as a business. We couldn't do this if we didn't have a profit, you know? So that factors in a lot, and that's just what we have to do. So that's why we try to do something different. We try to, you know, we don't want to gouge anybody, you know, but at the same time, you have to make a certain amount of money, and try to, you know, please everybody at the same time. So it's something that we're always working on, but the box sets are a unique way for us to play with that and do something cool. Like last year we did Evil Dead 2, and one of the things I wanted to do was a handmade Necronomicon box, wooden box, latex, you know, all that. And that to me was, I mean, we had to charge a ridiculous amount of money for that because it was handmade, but it really got our juices flowing, you know? Like when you guys did those wood prints or whatever, you guys did some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's freaking badass, you know what I mean? Like the collector stuff, the stuff that you can't get anywhere else, that you're just like, I need that, you know? It's fun.
Halloween fans do tend to be a little nuts with the collecting. I don't know if you noticed, but we do love our Halloween collectibles. Who's got the snow globe?
Well, I rock that, yeah.
Like the weirdest thing in the world. It's a snow globe with blood in it. But we'll have it. Just to go slightly back to the limited thing. Anything you want to say to the people that yell at you as if it's your fault when they can't get their poster?
Yeah, every day. Yeah, my Twitter.
It's what's this thankless thing to like look at your mentions. Do you just like not look at the mentions after all?
I was listening to this this interview with somebody, and it was like a famous person. And they were talking about like oh yeah, I'm on Instagram, and they're like, I have a no scroll down rule. And they're like, what does that mean? And they're like, I look at the picture and I don't scroll down for any, I don't look at any comments. And I was like, I should start doing that, it'd be amazing. But no, it's like, no, it's whatever. You know, it's like, it's part of what we have to do to do this, you know? And it is, and honestly, like, it's tough to like get people to be like, I hate you, like, and stuff like that, but I understand. It's just, you're frustrated. That's it. You don't really like secretly want me dead, probably. You know, like maybe you do. I don't know. But
when that Halloween
yeah. And if you do, it's probably a good reason. No, but I don't know. We try to do as much as we can. And like, I know it's hard to get stuff online, so that's why we try to come here and do stuff here. And then you know, it's just we try to do screenings, and we try to we're going out to. I'm actually leaving later on today to go out to London for a convention there called Thought Bubble in Leeds. And like Ollie Moss will be there, Jock, Mike Mitchell, Kevin Tong, like a lot of the artists are going to be there, so we're going to have like one big like grouping of us and all those guys and releasing different things. And so yeah, we're trying to take it different places to see, like to actually like meet fans. Like, I think that's super important. You know, I like hanging out. Like, I like conventions too. Like I really I go to lots of comic book stuff, and go to I fly in for Monsterpalooza and Sun Monsterpalooza in LA. Burbank, so yeah, I like those a lot.
Do you find a lot of conventions that are specific to one franchise like this? Like I've never heard. I mean, I follow.
No. I was talking. I mean, like obviously there's Celebration for Star Wars, and then there used to be like Star Trek stuff, but it's for like horror. I mean, there's not like a Jaws convention. I know they did like the reunion stuff for like Martha's Vineyard or whatever, but like this is nuts that happens. This frequently. It was crazy. We're sitting like right by the entrance, like where our table is, and if you're looking at the entrance from our table to the right, there's like the step and repeat, by the Master Trankus booth, wherever. And there was like Michael Myers was taking pictures and like fake stabbing them. And I was like, this is nuts. Like, there's no way in 1978 they were like, someday there will be a step and repeat with the Halloween logo with the Jasons. They're like, Jason and Michael Myers stabbing someone. It's great. It's amazing. Yeah, I love it, and I think it's going forever. Someone brought up a poster yesterday, and it was a original one sheet signed by Donald Pleasance and Jamie Lee Curtis. It was like mind blowing. Yeah.
Or some coin. Do you do a lot of conventions as well?
We don't do a ton of conventions. We usually do Monster Mania that's in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, right across from Philly, and we do that twice a year. And we started to do Horror Hound once a year in Cincinnati, which is a great show. It's a lot of work to get out. I mean, we still are a small staff, so like when we take half of our people to a show, then it's like you got a lot more to catch up when we get back to the office, and it's, we usually have to drive 6-7 hours to things, and we had to fly from New York here, take 5 days out and do it. So it's a lot of prep and getting stuff together, but at the same time, I love going to shows, hanging out with friends that you meet over the years and customers and stuff like that, and it's just such a great vibe. You end up leaving so jazzed and pumped, and you just want to go and make some really cool shit. You just want to go home like, oh my god, I I'm like, you know, I'm firing in all cylinders. So it's a kind of a mixture, mix of emotions. But I think, to me, Monster Mania is one of the better shows in the East. I mean, I know there's Cinema Wasteland and there's Chiller, which neither of them we've done, which I'd love to do at some point. But again, it's timing. A lot of them are kind of clustered around the same time, and having enough inventory to go to the shows and that type of thing, it all plays into it. So it's just, we try to get top to them when we can, and it's worth it.
If you guys have any questions too, there's a couple mics in the middle if you want to line up and ask them anything. Obviously, we're here because Halloween is more than one movie. I assume that with the licenses, especially for this particular series, unlike Freddy and Jason, the whole series is kind of like a mess as far as like who owns it. Like parts 1, 4, and 5 are owned 1, 2, and 3 are owned by it, 6 through, you know, Rob Zombie or a different company. Does your license, A, does your license just apply to the first film, and then B, do you guys have any interest in sort of going after like the sequels? I think you guys did like a Halloween 3 one, didn't you? Isn't that Halloween 3 film?
No, I don't think we were doing a Halloween 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Universal I think owns that one.
Yeah.
We don't think we've ever done anything for that one. We did a Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would love to do stuff for 4 and 5. You know, we put the first soundtrack out. Death Waltz did 2, 3.
Yep.
So we could do 4, 5, and then.
Please do.
Yeah, if you guys want, would you guys want 4 and 5 on vinyl? Is that a thing?
Baby, I'm yours.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I want Romeo on my freaking vinyl. I would, and a gentleman too.
I mean, honestly, I've been so like, just tunnel vision on the first one that it hasn't even occurred to me like that. Oh, we could do 4 and 5 or whatever. It's just been so like we need to do Halloween. Like we need to get this done. Like we need to like all on this. So like 4 and 5 now that this one's, you know, we've released the soundtrack and we've done the posters and stuff. I think that we can probably, you know, start hoping that, you know, talking to them about 4 and 5. Yeah.
We did 2 separate deals. We did Halloween 1, and then we did 4. And one of the reasons why I jumped on 4 is because it technically was the 25th anniversary this year. But it was structured as 2 separate deals. I'd love to do more with 4, I'd love to do more with 1, and then 5 being the 25th next year, I'd love to do something with it. I think that'd be a lot of fun. There's nostalgia for me.
I think what everybody wants is a Busta Rhymes shirt and poster. Nice, you know, maybe Ollie Moss can do something for Resurrection. Long-term entertainment.
Yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, we can make something happen. Maybe we
saw at least 3 of those.
Maybe we have something over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Busta is here.
Are you dropping that later?
That would be unbelievable if he was like a special guest. And you want live performance Busta Rhymes right now? For like 60 people? That would be amazing.
First Mondo poster that does not sell out. You're like, come on guys, please. $5, anybody.
Could you imagine that's in stock for months?
You have Spliff Star out here? Flip mode. Wow. Busta Rhymes.
We love Resurrection. Can you are you guys at liberty to say anything that's coming out? I know you guys got the Escape from New York box set, right? Coming out?
Yeah, that we released on Halloween.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can tell you that we've got a couple things coming up for December, but our next big release in January is Day of the Dead, which we're working on. So, and we got a few other things going for next year, but Day of the Dead's the next big one. So.
And you guys, you guys don't. I mean, usually it's like the day before we're we're announcing, and then
we tell you the day after they come out. Yeah, we're that late in announcing. No,
they sell out first, then you announce them. Yeah.
No, we have. I mean, just in general, like we have lots of horror stuff coming out, and so we're going to be doing lots of. We're still going to be doing soundtracks next year, and we've been signing a good number of really amazing things that we never thought would happen. So like those will be coming out. We are going to London. We are going to be there. Jock did the Halloween poster, and Jock will be there. So you can read into that. If there's anything, maybe there's a Halloween variant dropping in Thought Bubble. Confirmed. But
book your tickets to
yeah. Go to Thought Bubble next week. It'll be there. But no, I mean we're gonna have fun stuff, and I'm hoping we can do more event stuff. You know, like we're doing a mystery movie here, and we're coming back to LA in 2 weeks. We're doing a mystery movie in Westwood at the Majestic. I think it's the Crest Theater. It's amazing. We just went and visited again the other day to kind of plot stuff out. But it looks really great. yeah, I would love to, you know, come back here a couple times a year and do different shows, and, you know. But then the Alamo's supposed to open up downtown LA soon, you know, like I don't know when, but as soon as that happens, we'll be out here all the time. Yeah.
Speaking of the new Alamo locations now, how's the South Lamar location coming along? Are you guys gonna have a store in that one like you do in the other one?
No, we're gonna be mainly out of the gallery.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll do gallery stuff, and then that's a great thing because we can show up and just pop up and have records or have shirts or posters or whatever we have there. And so we'll, you know, South Lamar was always kind of our go-to theater to do shows at, just because parking was great. It was, you know, big theaters. They had the biggest theaters for the Alamo, and so now I think that when that's coming back, like if everything's similar, we'll kind of make that like that's our place we do shows at in Austin. But right now, I mean that whole area, if you're familiar with Austin, it's like South Lamar area where the theater used to be. It's like a giant hole in the ground, and the theater's actually still there. They left the theater up, and they tore out everything around it. So they're not you know, it'll look different, obviously, but you know, the actual South Lamar skeleton is still there. But there's like condos and stuff going up all around it. It's like a completely different area. Yeah. So if you guys are ever in town, like in September, we do Fantastic Fest down there, and just, you know, obviously, I work for the company, and this isn't like a sales pitch, but I think generally, I think that you guys would enjoy. You go, right?
Yeah,
Fantastic Fest. Yeah. It's you guys, September, you should look it up. FantasticFest.com. It's a really super fun show.
I endorse it. And again, if you guys have any questions too, you can line up. There's a mic there, then another one by the back. Just want to go back to quickly. What's the turnaround like when you guys go? I know like for Halloween, obviously, this sort of like a release date, you know, target. But on usual, like let's say you get a license today, when do we see that shirt or that poster or vinyl?
Ours is kind of like Halloween. We got done surprisingly fast. Like several months ago, I would say at this point, like we actually got it done, and then the art came pretty fast. I think it was within a couple weeks from like concept to final, and then with records, it's just the wait. You know, it's kind of like filmmaking. It's like hurry up and wait, because like hurry up to get it submitted, and then it's just they have to make it all. You know, they have to press it all. They have to press it all. And then it's like shipping takes a long time. So I think that like the typical record, you know, could take anywhere from, you know, at the shortest, like if you're amazingly lucky, like 2 or 3 months, you know, and then you know, like 4 to 6 is probably like the playing it safe standard. You know, you're taking the time and you're doing, you know, probably multiple test pressings reviewed and revised and stuff like that. But we were lucky to have, you know, I think it was like 1 or 2 on Halloween, and then it was good. Yeah. So. And then posters, we've had Tyler Stout do stuff, and he did Iron Man 2, and he wasn't even telling us he was doing it. He turned it in, like, he said he started on Friday and turned it in Monday morning, completely finished. Yeah, so it just, that's a very much like results not typical situation, but, you know, we typically like to go like 1 or 2 months, like lead time on stuff, yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of the same. I mean, it really depends. Once we signed the deal for Halloween in May, and it was like we were already sort of under the gun trying to get stuff done because we wanted a Halloween release, but we wanted to release it. It would be a pre-order, so we had to release it in September to try to get every order out before Halloween, and that was even pushing it because you don't want to do it too early, but you don't want to do it too late because we got to get this stuff made, and getting approvals and everything. I mean, the approval process, depending on who you're working with, can just be hard sometimes. You know, it's just trying to coordinate schedules and stuff. And so with us, you know, we can have artwork turned around pretty quickly, but then we're just waiting on approvals, and you got to change something or this or that, and then, you know, whatever. But sometimes it does take a few months. So I mean, probably about like, you know, Day of the Dead we've been working on for a month or 2 now, and that's coming out in January. So, you know, probably about 4 or 5 months or so, depending.
I got my Halloween shirt box. I think I got it on October 29th. So
nice.
We made it.
Good.
Yeah, we have a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about the Halloween release on vinyl, like the decision process, and what made you guys do it on 180 grams and spread it out at 45 RPM for the best quality and just the artwork in general and the whole concept of it.
Yeah, yeah. We it was kind of like a. This is they're obviously like there are horror soundtracks that we're going after, like they're major breaking ones. Like we would love to do Texas Chainsaw. There's a lot out there, and this was one of them. Like we make lists, and this was a big one, and it was kind of like, oh wow, look what date it is. Like it's maybe we could do this on October 31st. Like I think that was the like, oh, it'd be great if we could release this on like that date. And so then we through the Deborah Hills show we did last year, we knew them, knew Trancas, and so we kind of just emailed them and said, hey, would you want to do this? Totally expecting it to not happen. It didn't be like, oh, someone else has it, or no, or whatever. And they're like, yeah, that sounds great. You should definitely do that. And it's like, okay. And so we went to Phantom City first, I think. Yeah, we went to them first, and they're like, of course, we want to do that. They used to be, Justin used to be the art director at Room Org magazine. So a lot of the covers that you guys have seen and like the layout and all that stuff, he's responsible for that. So he used to do that. Now he's like full-time freelance. So he does a lot of stuff for us. He does stuff for Fright Rags and some other guys. And so that was we decided to do the one, and then we started thinking like, okay, there's like during the year there's 2 record store days. There's one in April, and I think there's one kind of Black Friday in November. And so we're like, okay, we're gonna do a Black Friday. Like this was supposed to be like a Black Friday type thing. So this had been like record stores. And when we had the meeting with Trancas, they told us about the convention. We're like, okay, we're gonna switch it up, and this now will be the record that we release, here, and it'll just, be like, obviously, it's way cooler to have like the fans grab it because everybody's here, so they can get it signed, they can do all the stuff, versus like, people grabbing it at a Black Friday instead of a record store on like a Saturday morning or something. So that was the reason why we wanted to do it here. This is right after Halloween, and then instead of just bringing those records here, we decided to do the splatter vinyl and the different cover because we wanted to do something with the clown. So, and the clown mask is really interesting too because it's on the back it has like almost like a hinge thing on the jaw, and we didn't even know that was there. And we were like, oh yeah, cool. But they turned it in, and it was like this weird thing. We're like, we don't know what that is. And then we looked at screen, like the Blu-ray just came out, so we got like a really great reference on that. We could really like zoom in. And so we took it all off of there. And then 180 gram and the weight of the package and stuff like that, that's pretty standard for like what we want to do. It's like, it's gonna last, like it sounds better. And then the 45 RPM, the reason we did that is just because it had to be two, it was double LP. And so if you do it 33, we would have maybe filled up 3 sides. So we could have done 3 sides and then like a laser etched some kind of side D of the second disc. We could have done a design on that. We just figured that since it has existed before on several times, various iterations, like this would probably be a good idea to do this as like the audiophile quality record. So that's kind of what we wanted to do.
There's a resurgence of a lot of 180 gram old recordings, and I think it's great. The more of them, the better.
Right. Oh, we were really nervous when we did Poltergeist earlier this year, because that's something you can get on eBay and get for $5 or something. But then when you're looking at that, like, oh, it's cheaper, but that's an original release in 1981 or whatever, 1982. And it's it's thin, and it's just it is what it is, So we were just kind of like, oh, let's see if anyone cares, and people liked it. So we're like, okay, we'll keep going. And so that was it's you guys buying it that makes us it's kind of like you're voting. It's like, yes, we want more records, and we're like, okay, we'll make more records. And if you don't want them, we won't make them. So like you guys wanting Halloween 4 and 5, we will seriously have a conversation with them asking like, can we do 4 and 5? Because it needs to be out there. Like I think it's 1, 2, and 3 are already out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Halloween 3 is awesome. I love that movie. And then like Death Waltz did the soundtrack, and it's amazing. They did such a good job with both of those. So yeah.
But you guys will do it better because you'll do gatefold.
We'll try our best. Yeah. Thanks, man.
The other mic back there, yeah.
Yeah, I had a quick question, more Mondo in general. You just mentioned about the customers voting and obviously everything's done out like in a minute to
Yeah.
extremely fast. I'm sure you get this a lot on Twitter, but is it possible to expand beyond 350? I know it's probably difficult to stray from a successful formula.
Yeah, yeah, and you have to understand on this one, you know, we had 125 of these posters here, so there will be more online. That was the only amount we could get in. It was either like 125 here or 0. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like we decided that maybe 125 people would be excited about, you know, having it here versus having, you know, because we call it. I'm not going to deny that it's hard to get stuff online. You know, we try to do everything with the site that we can to make it, you know, as fair. As, you know, as crazy as that sounds to say, like you're talking about like fair, unfair, but like we try to make it as fair as possible. So yeah, I mean, like we had just released the record in 2 slip mats and 2 posters, and so we were coming to this, you know, to the convention, just kind of thinking like, oh well, they've already got the posters. You know, we just released 2 posters, and so like a lot of times when we're doing multiple posters for one movie, we will be conscious of that, not to do like a bunch of each one, because people are, you know, you only have so much wall space and you only have so much money, right? So we didn't want to, you know, take advantage of that. So like we just said 350, and you know, like that's comparable number to what Jock usually does. Like I think we did a poster for The Thing at Comic-Con, and we did a run of 400 or something like that. You know what I mean? And it was, you know, it was at Comic-Con, it was there for a while. You know, for a couple of days you would get this poster, and we were thinking, this convention's Comic-Con's like almost a 5-day convention, and we were printing for like a 5-day run. And you know, when you have an edition of 500 online and you have the entire world that can go after it, it's going to sell out quick. But when you're in a room with people and you have, you know, a day and a half to sell posters, and you think, you know, 350, because we were fully intending like this entire edition was going to be here, you know. So we did that. We made that decision, and you know, it's always like hindsight. We could have released this poster and 50 people would have bought it. And we were like, oh, why did we print 350? We should have printed 200. No one likes this poster. But I mean, the truth of it is, I will admit this, like we don't know what we're doing. No one knows. Like it's truth. It's true. Like it's like me asking you like, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? You know what I mean? It's really like predicting the weather. So we can base things off of previous decisions. You know, like we can look at like, you know, Jock. You know, like let's look at movies on this kind of the same level, like horror or what genre, and see how many we did and what the reaction was to that, and we kind of base it off of that prediction. And then if we're wrong, then it's bad. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a super hard thing because people want it to be collectible, but they want to have it too, and there's that kind of balance you have to try to make everybody happy. So.
And every property is so different. You know, what works for one is not going to work for the other one, and even though you think it might be as popular.
Yeah, I mean, there's no formulas and there's nothing to and the other thing is too, like, it would even be worse if we reprinted, because everyone's like, I just want one, but like if you reprint that, it's like, you know, you can't, like, we'd be lying, because we've always said, like, we won't reprint to keep that, you know, that kind of trust. Because I feel like people, you know, like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like people trust that we won't do that, and we won't try to take advantage. And if one day we're like, hey, so the Olimont Star Wars set, we're reprinting that because we know that people like it a lot. So it's just kind of like we did that. We made the decision. We kind of have to stand by it, you know, like right or wrong, I guess. So. Yeah, I mean, we definitely try to do, you know, when we do stuff for like the Avengers, like we have Tyler Stout doing the Avengers poster, we printed 1,000 of those. And we, you know, I think it was like higher 1,000, which, you know, coming from a place where we were starting out doing like 100, it seems insane that we're thinking like, when we're doing 1,000, we're like, wow, is this still limited? You know, like, are people still gonna, you know, is this still the same thing? Are we still the same company? You have to understand, like, we're like, I started in 2010 and we were like, I was in a meeting and they were literally like, we're gonna close Mondo because it's losing so much money. Like, so do whatever you can to make it work, because you can't do any worse type of thing. And it was kind of like, okay, well, I guess if we're gonna do it, I'm gonna get the Turtles license because I like the Turtles. We're gonna get Universal Monsters and just do as much Universal Monster stuff as we can until the company closes. And then it just started working. We dug out of a hole. We were literally underneath a theater in South Lamar. That was our office, like the rake of a theater. So we had a door that was like 4 feet tall, and so you have to like go into it. You know, so I mean, and then now we have our own gallery, and we just got like offices and a warehouse space in Austin. So it's just, you know, like, it's just crazy to keep doing this stuff and to keep, you know, and now we're doing records and now we're doing this stuff and now we're doing this stuff, and we don't really have time to adapt to it. So it's like it's all kind of just in motion. And, you know, it's like, you know, to be honest, it's like super fun, but it's also like really scary because we want to make you guys happy, but it's like kind of we're at a, you know, there's only so much we can do. You know what I mean? So yeah. Does that answer your question a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I get off on tangents. I ramble. So you know, keep me in line. But thanks.
I just had a quick question. When you guys did the Dark Knight 24-hour thing, you
Yeah.
just threw in that golden ticket.
Mhm.
Do you know what poster that person decided to
Yeah, the dude. See, everybody like talking about like people writing comments. There's a lot of people that thought that we had lied about providing the golden ticket and just, you know, that was a thing to sell. But the fact was the guy actually found it, and we had intended to do a big blog post and a recap of like what he got, but he got it and then he was so overwhelmed that he couldn't decide what he wanted. So it was literally like a full year that Ollie was talking to him like, what do you want? And I honestly, I think they decided, and I don't even think it was like movie related. I think it was comic book stuff. And so that, I mean, we'll definitely post it when it's done, but I just don't think, it's either Ollie hasn't done it or it's the guy hasn't decided what he wants, because it's just like, you can have anything, you have one wish, don't mess this up. He was like, I wish for Dream Girls, and you're like, wrong, you blew it, like you don't get another chance. It's like, oh. That.
I'd go with Shocker.
Wow.
I want a Shocker poster.
Also wrong.
Any other questions for these guys? No? Alright, is there anything else you guys want to like pimp that you get coming out? Real quick? No? You're all good?
No, I just, thanks everybody for coming, and I'm sorry about the poster selling out. We'll have more online. We have records at the booth. Yeah, come by and say, hey, we'll talk more.
Yeah, and thanks for all your support, and we really appreciate it too. So stop by the booth, and we still got some stuff left.
What's the? We came in late. What's the Escape from New York box set you were talking about?
Oh, it's on the site now. So what it is, it's a new design. It's got a box with it. It comes with an 11x17 reproduction of the original poster, and it's got an eye patch and
The most amazing part.
a snake tattoo about this big that you can plaster right on your belly. So you too can be Snake Plissken.
It's so awesome. I want to say too, like I had emailed Ben before we came, because we had never met before, and we'd always like talked and stuff. And I was like, hey, so I was told mooching, and I was like, hey, can you bring some of those like Prism stickers? Have you guys seen those?
Oh, yeah,
it's like the old
Prism
vending
stickers,
machine, like you put in 50 cents, and it pulls out like the white like cardboard thing. Yeah, like those, the ones they did that were like so random. And I love that you're doing, because they're also like, they're like Evil Dead 2 and stuff. Like they had Halloween ones originally, right?
They had
like,
Halloween.
They had really weird, like they had
Evil
like
Dead 2, I think, as well.
Vamp, and then
Friday the 13th Part
Nightmares,
6.
and what was another one? They had Monkey Shines.
Howling.
It was like the most random of the horror movies that they were doing this stuff for.
I remember
Super
I had a
bad.
Psycho 3 on when I was little. That's what I think I learned about the Psycho series, one of those Prism stickers.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, they're doing those again too. And I was actually at the Deborah Hill Halloween show. We gave out the vouchers with the pumpkin on it, and we were looking around trying to find how to print those. It was like super last minute. We were like, oh, we want to do like the Prism like stickers as the vouchers. And we couldn't figure out how to do it. So yeah, it's cool that you guys are bringing those back.
Absolutely, we're gonna keep doing them as much as we can. So
Yeah, have to steal those.
All right, well, thanks, Ben. Thanks, Justin.
Cool,
Round
thank
of applause to these guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And stick around. I'll be bugging you again. We got a Shout and Screen Factory panel coming up, so stick around for that. Thank you.